Thank you, Surfshark VPN, for sponsoring today's video.
Yeah, and today we're heading to one of your bucket list locations, Reykjavik, Iceland, where we're going to tour the famous Golden Circle. We're going to soak in one of the world wonders, the Blue Lagoon, and we almost get trapped in a volcanic eruption.
Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we are living that full life, going all the way around the world, taking 9 months to do it on the Ultimate World Cruise.
Well, we are, friends, and today and tomorrow we're in Reykjavik, Iceland, and it is one of my bucket list places. Now, Reykjavik is located in the North Atlantic Ocean. It's kind of to the northwest of the United Kingdom, and Reykjavik is on the southwest portion of the island.
Yes, it is. Well, it took us a couple days to get here from Amsterdam. We left, you go across the North Atlantic Ocean, but during those days we had some rather rough seas.
We did.
Yeah, things were rocking and a-rolling as we went across there, which is pretty common, I will say, for going across that part of the ocean. So we had just some time on the ship to relax as we were preparing to come into Reykjavik, because we do have a couple really busy days. Well, one of the things that I was enjoying with a couple of my friends while we were heading across the ocean was the NFL preseason and regular season was just getting ready to be started. And so I wanted to watch a couple of the games. I know one of my friends was very excited for his New York Jets. Of course, now looking back at the time, that may not have been so good. But we wanted to be able to watch those games. But you can't just turn on those games out in the middle of the North Atlantic. You have to be in a market where they will play those games. And that's where the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark, comes into play. With Surfshark VPN, you can actually tell the VPN where you are virtually located. You can virtually relocate your computer to anywhere in the world, one of hundreds of servers that Surfshark supports. And so what I did to watch my Kansas City Chiefs in the preseason is I relocated my computer back to Kansas City. And that way, all the servers, everyone else in the world thinks that my computer is sitting in Kansas City when it's really out in the middle of the North Atlantic, rocking back and forth as we're watching the preseason games in the pub on the cruise ship. So we really, really enjoyed that capability of being able to watch those games. Same with a friend of mine. We relocated the computer virtually back to the United States, and we were able to watch the Jets game as well. And if you'd like to try out Surfshark and watch pro football or any sports or any of your Netflix, anything out in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, you can go to surfshark.com/livingphase. That's surfshark.com/livingphase, or scan that QR code you see on the screen. And Surfshark will give you 4 months extra for free. So be sure to give them a try. And it is the VPN we used on the Ultimate World Cruise.
Well, as we sailed into Iceland, you need to know there's not a lot of trees here. It's just rather grassy and mossy, but it has its own unique beauty that really is very pretty. Well, today a friend of ours has booked a tour through a company called Nice Travel, and it's a private tour. We're going to be going around the Golden Circle.
Right.
Now, the Golden Circle is a 150-mile round trip tour here through the area, and it's going to hit all the highlights.
Right. So as we take off, we get on our bus. Now, one of the nice things is we have a very small private tour here. So there's only a few of us on the bus, and that makes it so nice because if we need to adjust to things, if we want to add something, take it away, it makes it super easy. And not only that, we don't have 50 people getting on and off a large bus. We can get to a place, we can get off, see what we're going to see, spend time, and get back on without wasting all that time getting on and off the bus.
Well, the first stop that we made was at a national park, and it's where the European continent and North American continental plates meet. And so this was pretty cool, friends, because we could actually walk from Europe to North America.
Yep, we did. So you can see some of the volcanic activity that's happened, the lava. In fact, because of the rock formations and things here, some episodes of Game of Thrones have been filmed here.
Yes.
It's quite spectacular. This was the one area I did feel slightly rushed. I know our guide was trying to keep us on a schedule, and to be honest, what he was trying to do is get ahead of a lot of the big tour buses that are doing the Golden Circle. And so it was a little bit, I could have spent a little more time here. You can actually camp and stay here. There's some little lodges here. And in fact, we had a friend, you can scuba dive at the lake here. dive right down into the continental shelf, and you can put your hands on the North American and the European continent at the same time, and he went and did that. It was quite a strenuous dive, so just to be warned of that, but that was really a neat thing to do here as well.
The next place they took us to was a geothermal area where we saw geysers shooting off, and not like Old Faithful where you have to wait an hour for each geyser to erupt. Here they were erupting about every 7 to 8 minutes, although they didn't last as long or go as high. But, you know, that was still really neat to see.
Yeah, it was. And in fact, there's a whole hiking trail that you can walk through this entire area. So you see multiple geysers, multiple thermal pools, those types of things. And if you time it just right, you can really get a great shot here. So it's just a little bit of patience and good camera position.
That's right. We had lunch here.
We did.
We had a very expensive lunch.
Yeah, I think we had to take a mortgage out for that bowl of soup.
So we had like a bowl of fish soup and a little sandwich and a beer, and I can't remember if I had a soda or not, but that's it. And it was about $50. It was ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, most of the food and things here in Iceland. Now you got to remember, you're in an island in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, and everything almost has to be imported here. We're going to show how they do grow some of their food here in a little bit. But yeah, things are very expensive here. So if you do visit Iceland, just be ready for that.
Yes.
That this is not an inexpensive place, especially to eat out or to have eats and drinks.
Well, we got back on the bus and we were next taken to the Gullfoss waterfall area. This was, again, another really beautiful place to visit. That the river, it goes, and as it goes into the waterfall or creates the waterfall, it just falls down into this fissure, this crack in the earth, and it's just stunning.
It was a bit of a hike down there. We knew there was a lot of walking with this, but it was worth every step, every bit of it. Make sure you explore all the different areas, the areas that stick out over or hang out, some of the where you get right up on the railing, you get kind of sprayed with water and everything. And I guess it's a good time to talk about being prepared for Iceland with your clothing. So you can see here we've got multiple layers on. We've got our waterproof jackets on. We've got waterproof shoes because during the day it did rain sometimes. We got sprayed by waterfalls. We had all of that going on. The wind in some cases was tremendous.
Cold, yes.
Yeah, and it was quite cold. Now this is August, so you do need to be prepared if you're going to Iceland for any type of weather. And in the end, it was in the 40s here during August, so Fahrenheit. So just be aware of that and be ready for any type of weather. Well, we viewed the beautiful waterfalls, and we hiked back up to the bus, and then we were going to go to the giant volcanic crater.
Now the volcanic crater was really beautiful too. You can hike down to the bottom of it if you so desire, but we were at the top of the rim. Now you and a couple of our friends actually hiked all the way around the rim of the crater. It really only took you, I think, about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
It didn't take too terribly long. I waited for you and I watched you and waved at you.
You did. Now on the other side of the crater where it's kind of the higher side, oh my gosh, we literally about got blown over. The wind was so strong up there. That it was just crazy how windy it was up there. And, when it's already 40 degrees or something and then the wind's blowing at, 50, 60 miles an hour, it was quite the ordeal just to stand up over there. But it was worth it to see the volcanic crater in that area.
We got some pretty pictures there.
We did.
Well, then we got back on the bus and we were taken to another waterfall, which was really beautiful.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. This wasn't originally on the itinerary, the second waterfall, but because we were making good time and we had a small group here, that we were able then to go and add an extra stop in here. You just said, hey, our time at the Blue Lagoon is here. We have to fill in a certain amount of time in between. Let's go to this other waterfall. And it was really, really beautiful. It again was along a big fissure in the in the earth as it flowed over, and there was a gravel path going down to it that you could go down into this waterfall. Little cautionary, you always want to wear good footwear. Someone in our group actually did slip. Luckily she was okay, but you want to be careful going down those gravel paths, and those hiking poles are always really good.
Absolutely. Well, he also took us to see some Icelandic horses. There's a little place where you can pull off, and Icelandic horses are there. Now, what's really interesting about these is they don't receive immunizations and antibiotics and things like that. They're very, very protected, and they want to keep the Icelandic horses very healthy. So if any of these horses leave the island for shows or anything like that, they can't come back.
Yeah, they could never be repatriated back into Iceland. So because they're worried they're going to bring a disease or something like that back in. But they're cute ponies or horses, whatever, really small and furry and pretty famous when you see them. Yeah.
And the next place we stopped at, or we just drove by for kind of a little photo stop as we're driving, were the greenhouses. Now, as you can see, and I told you that Iceland is very, very barren, and they can't really grow a lot there. However, they do produce most of their own produce for everyone there in Iceland through these greenhouses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so our driver, he actually told us a little story that his girlfriend, when he was dating, that her father is actually the guy that runs the greenhouses, So again, this is a very small island here. It's like being in a small town. Everybody knows everybody else. And, as our driver's driving around, they're all waving at each other. So it's interesting some of the stories you get, especially with some of the smaller tours where you get that real intimate view into the locals here in Iceland. So.
Well, now after leaving the greenhouses, our driver is preparing us for what we're going to experience here at the Blue Lagoon and just things to expect. And one of the things that he tells us is if we hear the sirens go off, don't panic, just don't shower, go in, grab your clothes, and quickly come back to the bus.
And he almost said it offhandedly.
He did.
And then he said, here's the process, and you're going to get a wristband and all that. And he just kind of threw that in, and we thought, he's just kind of joking.
And he tells us to put conditioner on your hair because the sulfuric water can be a little hard on your hair. And then pretty soon he says again.
As we're almost getting there. Yeah.
He says, if the sirens go off, don't panic. Just immediately get out of the water, grab your clothes, and go straight to the bus. And now I'm thinking,
is he kidding?
Is he kidding me? I thought he was kidding when he said it the first time, and I'm thinking, I'm not so sure now. Well, now we've reached the parking lot and have parked, and he says a third time, if the sirens for the volcano go off, don't panic. Just get out immediately, grab your clothes, don't shower, and come straight to the van. And now I'm really thinking,
he's not kidding.
He's not kidding, and he knows something I don't know. Yeah. So now I am getting a little apprehensive at this point. And I'm also apprehensive just because it's cold. It's cold, friends, and I know I'm going to be getting all wet, and it's going to be freezing. But I do want to assure you that if you go to the Blue Lagoon, don't be afraid of that, because it really is a gentle walk from the building into the water, because there's this walkway inside the building, so the air is warm, and you get into the nice thermal warm waters. You get into about your shoulder, and then you go outside, so just your neck and your head are outside, and the rest of you is nice and warm. Mm-hmm. and it really is pleasant. I was worried about that, but it all worked out quite well.
Yeah, well, let's tell them a little bit about the Blue Lagoon,
because that's fun. It was a lot of fun. They have masks that you can put on. Now, we had the basic entrance fee, entrance experience, which was about, I think, around $70 US dollars. And that included one mask, it included a drink, and it included a towel in our time there at the Blue Lagoon. So that was really nice. I got to put on a face mask, and we went and got our drink, and it was just, it was fun. We were there with friends and just had a good time. It's big. It's quite a large area. And in fact, there's even a meditation area where you can't take any phones, you can't take any cameras, but it's just an area kind of silence that for those who want to go and really relax in these thermal spas.
Right. And so there is a second package that you supposedly get like 3 masks versus 1, and you get 1 extra drink. What we found, though, is especially during tourist season here, it's so busy that they're just walking around handing the masks out. They're just trying to make sure everybody gets a mask. So they're not really worried too much about that. And if you really do want a couple drinks at the swim up bar, they give you a wristband and they can just scan the wristband and you can buy another drink there as well.
Right.
Because it's a little over $20 extra for the upgraded package. So we'd recommend just get the base package, and if you want the extra drink, you can just buy it then.
Exactly.
So, yeah, well, we tooled around in the water, enjoyed our time. Our guide had given us a specific time to get out of the water, get back to the van. And it was I think we were in there about an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that.
It was a nice amount of time.
Yeah, and we got, showered. You really want to shower because the water is very alkaline. It's, you got to wash off the remnants of the silica face masks and those kind of things. So we showered, changed, got back to the bus, and we headed back to the ship.
So it's about a 45-minute drive back to the ship, and we get back there and we're getting off, and as we're getting off, some of our friends are heading out away from the ship. And they said,
they were going on a Northern Lights viewing tour, yeah.
But they say, Mike, Nancy, did you hear? The volcano erupted.
This is the volcano at the Blue Lagoon.
Yes,
I mean, they are right there. You saw the lava as we walked through the parking lot and everything, and this is the volcano right there. And so our guide obviously knew something. The people in Iceland knew that this volcano was about to erupt again. And we got out of the Blue Lagoon, and about 20 minutes after we left, the sirens went off, and there were people from our cruise ship still in the water, and they had
different tour.
They had to do the process. They had to go and grab their clothes, get out of there. And in fact, because the volcano was now erupting and lava was starting to flow, they couldn't go on the road we went on, which crosses the lava fields. Some of them actually had to go and drive over 3 to 4 hours around the volcano and then make it back to the ship. So we made it out by the skin of our teeth, so we say in the United States. And just barely made it out. And of course, we turn around from the ship and we look, and the entire sky is glowing.
It's pink. Yes.
Yeah, and so we could watch it from there. Now, we did have some friends that got a cab, and they actually went back out to the volcano, and they shared some of the pictures they took. It was just spectacular. The lava's shooting up in 50, 100-foot columns, and it's glowing, and it's at night, and it was just amazing. So the volcanoes here, are much more like Hawaiian volcanoes. They're not cinder cones that blow up and explode. The earth cracks open and lava flows out. So it's not the violent explosions. However, you can easily be trapped by the lava if you're not prepared for it or know where the lava's flowing and all that. So yeah, we got literally 20 minutes difference getting out or delaying a little bit, and we'd have been trapped there by the lava. So we felt very, very fortunate for that.
Well, we got back to the ship, and we went out on the deck and we're watching the glow of the volcanic lights for a bit, but then we have to go to bed because we've got an overnight here in Reykjavik, and tomorrow we're going to tour the town through GPS My City, and we're going to have one of the most world famous hot dogs.
It is a small little hot dog stand here in Reykjavik. It's world famous, so we're going to put them to the test in the World Hot Dog Challenge, and we'll see how they stack up.
Well, thank you, Surfshark VPN, for sponsoring today's video. Friends, be sure to go to surfshark.com/livingphase for an extra 4 free months, and we will see you all again in Reykjavik very, very soon. Take care. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.